Hey guys, this is Akshay Bhaskar from GeeksforGeeks, and first of all, really big sorry. There was some technical issue from our end. At our end, उस वजह से हम थोड़ा late start कर रहे हैं. But I'm so happy that 8 people still waited, and I am sure that the audience is so good that they'll understand us this time because every time we go on time, live हम time पे होते हैं. But इस बार really sorry about that. So put in some comments, say some hi and hellos, and say it's okay first in the comment. Then I'll start. Then I'll tell you about our mentor, and I'll tell you about the student who opted for, volunteered for actually going through the live interview session for you guys, so that you can see the experience how it is. Hi Devansh, thank you so much, guys. I can see the comments. Oh, so many comments. My God. Hi Sudarshan. Hi Shubham. Hi Saurabh. Hi Chandan. Awesome, guys. Your audience itni sahi hai na. Thank you so much. 42 people are live now. Great. So let me tell you about first about Dhananjay, who is our mentor, in-house mentor. So he's a mentor at Geeks4Geeks who has done competitive programming during his 4-year journey of college at Army Institute of Technology, and he's organized and participated in several coding contests all around the engineering colleges in Pune. So उसकी कोड फोर्स रेटिंग भी 1870 है. So he'll take the interview of the person, और जिनका वो इंटरव्यू लेंगे, his name is Siddharth. I'll tell you about him. Okay, so Siddharth is doing his graduation in computer science and engineering from National Institute of Technology, Agartala. His hobbies are reading books and playing table tennis. I like that too, by the way. And he's currently working as a mean stack intern in analytics saves at work. So that's about it. This is the lineup today. This is the session. वो सारा session इस चीज के बारे में है. So without delaying any further, let me invite them, and they'll start the session, the interview. And thank you so much for joining. Keep engaging with each other, guys. Thank you so much. Hey guys, क्या हाल है?
Hi Akshay, hi Dhananjay.
Hi. All right. So, guys, I have told them about the session. You can greet each other. You can start the session. Dhananjay, you can take the lead from here. Siddharth, okay? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Awesome. Okay, I'll go back from the stream. You feel free to share your screens, ID, and whatever use cases. Dhananjay, you please send me the question, problem statement in private chat so that I add it in the banner for the audience, right?
Yes, sir. I'm doing it right now.
All right. And keep your mic close to your mouth so that the sound is more, audible. And let's start. I'll take a back seat. You can go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, sir. Sir, I hope my voice is pretty much audible now. Like,
Yeah.
stable?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, hi Siddharth. How's you?
Hi.
How's you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So, before starting with the interview, first of all, let us know something about you and about your areas of interest, your college, and about your college journey till the third year and all. Right? So, yeah, let's begin.
Yeah, as Akshay said, I'm doing my graduation from NIT Agartala in computer science and engineering. And if I talk about my journey, so it's full of ups and downs. I explore about these 3 years are so exciting along with challenging also. I'm when I'm enter college, I'm quite new. I am like a blank in coding. So first I hear the word coding in my first year, then I start exploring platforms, GFG, and other platforms also. And if I talk about my development profile, so basically I'm a MERN stack developer. Major of my project was on MERN stack, but I still exploring mean stack also. So currently I'm working as a mean stack intern in analytics save at work. Apart from that, if I discuss about my projects, so I have done quite some of my projects are interesting. One of my project that I want to discuss is portfolio website. I discussed here because I think it's important to make your own portfolio. It's the thing where people can know about you. So it's built on React, where I will use about modules, which is named at email.js for if a user want to send a mail, so he can direct sent
So
through a
basically, it's
form.
sort of GitHub kind of profile where you can upload your resume, your projects, and all things, right?
Yeah, my
Okay,
coding profiles, my resume, and all the things like. And also
okay,
user
okay.
can, recruiter or someone want to interact with me, he can fill the form, and then like what happens in like the mail is sent to me if a user fill that form.
Okay, okay. Nice to hear all about that. So, Siddharth, I can see in your resume that you have mentioned that you have done some certification or courses like in data structures and algorithms,
Yeah,
and you have pretty much have worked on hand experience with the mathematics. You have done machine
yeah,
learning and all. So, I guess
yeah,
uh, by getting knowing about your this certifications in DSA and also, I hope you are ready to move on with some DSA questions. So, are you ready for that?
yeah, sure.
Okay. So first of all, I'll be introducing you with the basic questions, and after that we'll be moving to the or we'll be increasing the difficulty level one by one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll be telling you the first question. So so let me share my screen for you so that I can share you the problem statement and the sample test cases to get it more understandable. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first problem statement says that you are basically given an array of strings, right? Or we can say vector of strings. So there can be n strings in that array, and you have to find the common characters in all those strings. You have to return a list or array or vector, we can say, in which there should be all the common characters in all the n strings. So if I explain you with an example, suppose if I have an array of strings, let it be like the strings are cool, lock, and we can say it LOF. Okay. So the common characters or the answer array you should be returning is that the first common character in all of the only common character in all of these strings are O and L. So you have to return O and L. I hope
Yeah.
this is clear to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So go on with the approaches that are coming into your mind.
Okay, so the first approach that came to my mind just to traverse through a vector, and for every string, what I do is I will make a like a map, or I can make a array of size of character. So is it contains lowercase or uppercase both, or like lowercase only?
Let us consider that it contains only lowercase for easiness.
Okay, so so for that I will consider an array of size 26 and initialize it with a 0. So what I will
Okay.
do is I will just go through every string in our vector, and if a character occurs, then I will add the to my array. Here I add one more condition that when I am adding, like suppose there is a word cool. So if I am adding it, if I am adding it, I will check that it will not exceed the index value. So there is a no suppose COO. So I will like I will not consider second O. So for that, if it is like it is greater
Okay,
than
so let me tell you another case. If there is possibility that suppose in this case if O occurs two times or twice or more than once in all of the strings, then you have to print O that number of times, not only single time.
okay. So
So
yeah,
basically, if I
so
am getting your approach, you are saying that you will be iterating all the strings, and they will be and then you will be normally storing their frequencies, and then you will be
yeah,
again iterating that number of strings, and you will doing computations, right?
yeah.
So can you little bit explain me in the crux and quickly like what's your approach?
Uh, what you say? Can you please just like
Like can you
can,
finally tell me the final approach of yours? so that we can move on to the
Okay.
coding part.
Okay. So if I take extra space, so I will initialize my vector not of size 26, but of size n into 26. So like initialize a 2D vector of like of row of size n and a column of size 26. So for every vector I will just uh, add the like count the characters for every string, and then I will go for every row and check in how many if the frequency is same. So for that I will use mapping. So
So can we do
if it
something
is
like that?
equals to,
You said that we'll be using 2D vector, right? Of n into
yeah,
26. Can we do it
yeah,
something better? Like, can we use map or unordered map kind of thing? Can you think in that manner? Because the approach I'm trying to get from you will occupy a less amount of space than you told me above. And so, can you think of it? Like using
yeah.
only maps.
So yeah,
So, if I drop you a hint, so you can normally like we want to find the common characters, right? So what if I say that you pick any of the strings and then store the map count for that, right? And by that count of that particular string you can relate all the common characters, right? Because at the end of the day you have to find the common characters, so the common characters will include the characters in all the strings, right? I hope you're getting what I'm
yeah,
trying to say.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, exactly.
proceed with that.
So yeah, so for that I will initialize a two vector of size 26. Firstly, for our first string, I will count the count all of the frequency of all the characters, and then for every string, I will initialize that 26 size vector, like reinitialize it to 0 for every subsequent. So count that frequency and then matches both two. Like suppose first one and second one is matches. Suppose it's not matches, then I will put it 0. Otherwise I will make it like, suppose first I will take it by example. Suppose uh, first character is school, second is look, then third character is like for take two. So for that C frequency is 1, L frequency is 1, so O frequency is 2. For if I am going for second, so I will for every character, like L frequency is 1, O frequency is 2, K frequency is 1. So then I am matching. So K frequency here is 0, here is 1. So I will initialize it with 0 here.
Okay, so basically you are saying that if you are iterating the frequency count of two strings, then you will be taking the minimum of the frequency count of either of them, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. So your approach and the idea that's in your mind is pretty much correct. So can you share your screen and your ID, and can you move to the coding part?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So is my screen visible?
Yeah. Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah,
Go on.
yeah. So okay.
No, you just write down the normal function. Okay. So let me
Okay,
say that don't write the code from the scratch. You just write down normal the functions or the steps you will be involving.
okay, okay, okay. So I have to return a vector of characters. So I will. So is I am returning in terms of a string or in terms of vector of character?
Like you have to return the common characters, right? So you can use character. Final answer is vector
Okay,
of characters, right? Go on.
okay, okay, okay. So I will take a vector of string as my input.
Okay.
So yeah. So I will initialize my first vector as I like explained above, uh, of size 26 with initial value 0.
Okay.
Then I am iterating for the first string.
Okay.
And increment for every character.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So yeah,
yeah,
here in this step you are having the frequency count. Cool. Great.
yeah. Then I will go for rest part of the vector of rest part of the
Okay.
vector.
Okay. Go on. Go on.
And for every string I will initialize my vector. uh, yeah, so here it is vector of in. Yeah, now I will traversing through a string.
Okay. Nice. Now in this step also you will be like doing the previous step of storing the frequency count. Okay.
Yeah, exactly same as the previous one
Okay.
that I do for
So
the.
yeah. So you can skip this step and just move on with the next steps other than the frequency count. So move on to the next step.
Okay,
Okay.
so for I'm skipping this step. Now I am comparing for every comparing vector A and vector B and take the
Okay.
minimum of subsequent element.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay. Go on. Go on. Nice.
uh, yeah. Now I'm traversing in the vector A. And then if the frequency is not 0, then that many times I will add that character to our resultant vector of characters. So let's
Okay. So in
initialize
this
it.
step, in the step in the line number 11, so basically you are updating your. Okay. So okay. Okay. Yeah. Good. Go on. Go on. Nice.
Yeah. So like speaking like skipping the updation of B vector. Now I will finalize for every for every character of our input. Like I will take that vector of input A that I will just traversing in that and check if it is if it is greater than 0, then that many times I will add that character to our vector of resultant character, right?
Okay. Siddharth, one more thing that there is a bug in your code because you are you took the you took the initial string that is input of 0
Yeah.
and you are relating with that string the other remaining string, right? But in the line number 12 you're updating that your initial string.
I In line number 12, I am not updating my string. Is
Because
that
you're doing in the
A? Is that in this line AJ is equals to minimum of AJ and BJ?
so like your a is the initial vector of count of frequencies of the
Yeah,
string number.
yeah, and B
Okay.
is for
Okay. Okay.
running.
Okay. So you're updating each time with the new vector and yeah, cool, cool, cool. It will work. It will work. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Go on.
So now I will traverse for every initialize it with 0, and then for every J less than AI. Suppose I have like for every character, like for A character, it is like two will be my answer. Then I will traverse for 2 times and then add it to my resultant vector of character.
Okay, okay. I'm clear with your approach. So write down the final step.
Now returning my resultant, like result.
Okay. So in this step, you are using the ASCII value. Therefore, you are adding I to the
Yeah,
ASCII. Okay. So you will get the character from this step,
yeah,
and then you will be pushing that character. Okay. The code looks good to me, and it will surely work. Okay. Nice, nice work. So now we'll move to the next question.
yeah.
So the next question is that you are given an integer, okay, and you have to reverse the integer without using any extra space. Okay.
Okay,
So if I say that you have an integer, let us say 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Basically, you will be given an integer in the form of having data type int, right? Not in the form of array. I hope you're getting it. What I'm trying to say.
yeah.
That basically you will be, suppose this is the integer x, right? So you will be having only this integer, and you have to reverse this integer so that your final answer becomes 6, 5, 4, and 3. Okay.
Okay,
So if one more case here is that if suppose I gave you this number 1000, so if you reverse that number, it becomes 001. So you don't have to consider the leading zeros. You have to remove the leading zeros. So answer should be 1 in this case,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So can you move on with the approach?
Yeah. So I don't have to use any extra space, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, is there any limit so that it will exceed? Like, I want to take a long of integers so that it doesn't exceed my limit.
Okay.
So,
So
is it so?
I put you in a constraint that, or I add one more condition that if your final answer after reversing exceeds the integer maximum limit, that is 10 raised to the power 9, about. So you will normally return -1. Okay.
Uh, no. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
So
instead of
I
using
want
long
to.
int, you can return -1 if your answer exceeds the integer maximum limit.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So go on.
So yeah, so the approach is like I will initialize my like I will so I can't initialize like so I will take I want to take a like a character so that I will just iterate over it.
So
So
basically,
can I take a
you want to separate the digits and then do
yeah
manipulation on that, right? So yeah, that's why I put you in a constraint that you cannot use, like you can use
yeah
variables, but
no
you cannot use any array kind of thing to store the digits. You can use any
no
variable.
I can use any variable.
Right, right. So the use of the variable doesn't count in the space, right? The space counts only the auxiliary, like the array or the string type of array. So you can use the variables for storing digits.
Okay, so for that, what I will do is just like for every like until the number became zero, I will take the modulo by 10 and divide it by 10 and modulo add to a number and like multiply that number by 10 and add the modulo and then divide that number by 10 and I will iterate it by until that number became zero. This was my first approach and
Okay, so in this your approach, suppose if you are dividing the numbers, right? So you're basically getting the digits. So if you're getting the digits in the first part, then how will be you reframing the final answer with those digits?
so
You
I'm
have to return
storing
an
it in
integer.
an
No, you have to return an integer.
so yeah, I initialize the integer a which is equals to 0, and we have given a integer which I have to reverse, right?
Yeah.
So I will iterate through that integer until that integer becomes 0, and I will take the modulo of, like, suppose the given number is b. So what I will do is I do a is equals to a into 10 plus b modulo 10, and then divide that number by 10 and iterate until that number becomes 0.
Okay. So yeah, this is the approach. Okay, cool. So any other approach in your mind, or you want to go with this approach to the coding part?
Yeah, so another approach, I don't use the variable a. So what I will do, I will just do working in my variable a, like the given variable. Suppose we have given the b. So in there, I have a problem. Like if it is given as long, then there is no problem. Like I have to survive with the, like, if I have to, like, 2 digit of, yeah. So what I will
No,
do,
you
I will
can.
just
So basically, you are saying that if I'm giving you are the number 1, 2, 3, so you are like in that particular number you are reversing the digits, right? 1 and 3. So that's what you're trying to say.
Not exactly. What I will do is, at every time I will increase, like, suppose firstly I will take the modulo by 10 and divide it by 1, like, and then second time I will divide it by 100.
Okay.
So
So
every time I will extract the digit and add to my, like, reversing, like, add
okay.
to
So
my
basically, you are
bottom.
saying that you
Every
will
time
be
I
at at every next iteration you will be taking the power of 10 and increasing the power of 10 and multiplying by that.
yeah.
Okay. So
Uh,
in this case, you have to use the power function, right? So I don't want to use power function. Okay. So basically, some mathematical normal non-mathematical equation. So you did that in the first approach. So you can go on with the coding part for the first approach.
Okay. So
Because this
yeah.
approach you
So
told is like a pretty much like brute force or like knife kind of approach because using the power function normally for multiplying, right? So
yeah, exactly. That's why I can't discuss this first. So you said you don't have to use any extra space, so that's why I am doing this. Like I will
okay,
tell that approach. So
okay,
yeah. So I have to return an integer. So I will initialize that function as reverse. So suppose the
Siddharth,
input
your
is
screen is
given
not
as,
visible.
so yeah.
Can you
Okay.
share your screen?
Um, I will stop sharing and then reshare it, right?
Okay,
Okay.
okay, no
So
issues.
yeah, now it's visible, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so what I will do, the return type of our function is an integer, and the input is the variable a. I take the input in such a way, and I will initialize my result as b. So then I am iterating until that number becomes 0. Like if it is not 0, then it's, and I will also initialize the our, like, result as 0. I will iterate until that the number a, like, a is greater than 0. So I am assuming, like, the number is not negative. So like, can I take care of that case when number is less than 0?
no, you're not given the non-negative integer. You have to only work with the positive integers.
Okay, okay. So then I will do is, for every time I will multiply our, like, previous integer. Suppose I have given 1, 2, 3, then I will take the modulo and extract the last digit, which is 3, and multiply my previous one. So it is 0 into 10 plus a mod 10. Then I will divide my number by 10. And then now our number is 1, 2, 3. Now it's became 12. So then second time it will came, and since previously the number is 3, so I will do b is equals to 3 into 10 plus 2, so it's 32. 10 came, then 1 came, then I will do 32 into 10, so 320 plus 1, so it became 321. So that way, then I will return the integer.
Okay. So where is that case where you are handling when your number after reversing exceeds the integer maximum limit? You skip
Okay,
that case, right?
yeah. So I will initialize that number as long. So and if that number is greater than our int max, oh, so greater than only, right?
Yeah.
Great. If it is greater than int max, then I will return -1, else I will return b. So it will typecast to integer. So yeah, if it is less than int max, then it will typecast to an integer.
Okay. Okay. So the code is pretty much good and it will surely work. Nice. Nice work. So in the last question, uh, okay. So the last question says that basically you are given a string. Okay. It is a binary string. So now basically you have to like find that the numbers, right? Let me share my screen to you and explain to you.
Okay.
ठीक है. So I hope my edit is visible to you now. Suppose if I'm
Yeah.
giving you this binary string, okay? So basically you
Yeah.
have to tell or return, suppose, and I do this indexing, okay? 0, 1, 2,
Okay.
okay? So you have to return a final Boolean array in which you will be returning true or false for each index. The true or false here depicts that this number 0, like the because the number formed by the number which will be formed after the conversion from binary to decimal, right? Because 0 1 will be what will it depict? 1 only,
Yeah.
right? So and 0 1 1 it will depict 3. So basically you
Yeah.
have to tell that suppose at the number or the decimal number formed by the 0th index will be 0 and the first index will be 1 and the third index will be 3, right? I hope you're getting it. So you have to return whether this particular or the all the numbers formed at each particular index or the prefix. Okay, you're getting the concept of
Uh,
prefix because we are having prefix, right? Prefix means we are starting from 0th index and we are moving forward.
yeah.
So the first prefix will be 0, second will be 0 1, third will be 0 1 1, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to find or return for each index true or false whether that particular number will be divisible by any integer I give it to you k. Okay.
Okay.
Let us take example that if I give you the same binary string 0 1 1 and then
Yeah.
you have to find or return the boolean array if I give I give the value of k equal to 5 to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So what will be the answer? The answer will be because by the first prefix, the number which will be formed will be equal to 0 and 0 is always divisible by 5. So therefore it will return true. Okay. So now
Yeah.
0 1 will be returning 1 and 1 is not divisible by 5. So it will return false. Similarly, the case of 0 1 1 it will be 3 in decimal values and it will return false. So the answer will be true, false, false. I hope the question is clear to you
Yeah.
and what you have to do. So yeah, how will you do that?
Uh, yeah. So if a number is divisible by 2, so like last characters is same as like our prefix last character is same as the like binary representation of k.
Sorry, I didn't got your
So
point. What you're trying to say?
yeah. So suppose take an example.
Can
Suppose
you share
k
the screen
is
and tell
2.
me on the ID part? Like I explained
Yeah.
you. The,
Yeah. 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 So yeah, so suppose k is equals to 2. So the binary representation of k is 10, and our prefix is 100. So like it's 100, 000 maybe. So I will check for the prefix. If our prefix is in the terms of k, like if it is k and the last characters, yeah, maybe I'm missing something. So like I will like rethink about it.
So basically, if I drop you a hint, the approach you're trying to say that you're relating the number of digits or zero, or the arrangement of zero on with the k. So there might be some cases where this approach will stuck. So you can't move forward with that stroke. So you can drop this idea. You can think in some other number.
Yeah. So, like if I convert that binary string for every prefix, if I like for every like full binary string, if I convert it to a decimal, like it would exceed would it be exceed the integer limit?
No, you can consider that it will be counted up to 32 bits. You can have 32 at max, so it will be counted in the integer.
So yeah, so then what I will do is I will convert that for every prefix. Suppose 1 came, then I will multiply the previous count. Like suppose our string is 011. So firstly, I will consider first character. So it will in decimal it will count as 0. Then what I will do, I will multiply that number by 2. Then I will consider my at first index. Suppose this is zeroth index, this is first index, this is second index, this is third index. So then I will move forward to first index and then check with whether it's a set bit or unset bit. So I will multiply the previous one. Suppose I will initialize it as x. So what I will do is I will just multiply the previous one with 2 and then add my like that
So
string. If it is set,
what basically x means here? The previous
x
bit
means
or the
the
previous answer? Bit or
previous
answer?
previous decimal representation.
Okay.
Up to that,
So
right? It is
yeah,
light.
I
It
got
is
your
one
point. So can
now.
you explain me like logically why is it working? The mathematical equation you came up with, right? Multiplying the previous decimal answer with 2 and then adding the current bit. So can you tell me the logic behind this? Because how you're coming up with this logic?
Yeah, so what happens is if you set like if you shift, suppose when it is when it is one, like suppose when it is one, if you shift it by one bit, suppose if I shift it by left through one bit, so then it will become 10. So when we are shifting, then it will multiply it by 2. So what I will do is I will just shift that bit. So up to that, I will count for 0, like decimal representation of 2. Then I will shift it to the left and add that character to my like last bit. So
Okay,
this was
so
my
we are
approach.
saying that you're shifting to the left, right? But when you say it
Yeah,
logically, you got an answer, right? Then you are
yeah.
moving to the right of the bit, right?
So
But you're saying
sorry.
that you're saying to me that you're shifting to the left, right?
Yeah,
So that's why because we know that in the bit manipulation, when we shift to the left, we multiply it by 2, right? But basically,
yeah.
what you're doing in this that you are moving to the right side of the given string, right? So
So yeah, exactly. We are moving to the right side bit, but we are shifting the previous prefix. Our prefix, we are shifting to the left, then we are moving to the right. So this was
okay,
the
so
approach.
let me let me summarize what I'm getting by your approach. So tell me if I'm getting your approach right or wrong. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen here.
Yeah.
So basically, you're trying to say that if we, for a moment, forget the binary representation. So if I take this number 456, so basically you're trying to say that if we are starting from this first digit 4, then basically, and we don't know that whether in the forward direction or in the right side of this 4, are there any other digits or not. So basically, for me, 4 is a single digit, so therefore we will take only 4. But when we move on to the fifth digit, we see that no, the assumption we made that 4 is the only digit is wrong now because 4 is now moved to the 10th place, right? So we are therefore multiplying it by 10. So that's what you're
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. So since we are working in terms of binary representation, so I will multiply it by 2.
Okay, okay. So now I got your approach. Yeah. Okay. So go on. So I'll move my screen. So yeah, you can go on with the coding part and share your screen.
Yeah. So I have to return how many prefix will be divisible by k. So it will be a number. So I will take return type as int and initialize my function name. So it's a binary string which is given as my input and the number k. So I will initialize that like suppose I'm calculating the number. So initially I have nothing in the like nothing in the left. So it's 0. So I will initialize one integer with 0. Then I will
Okay.
traversing the string. And if that bit, so what I will do is just multiply that number with 2 and suppose input I is 0. So what I will do is I will just initialize the 0th character. So if it is 0, then this will 0. If it is 1, then this thing will like give 1.
So again, you're dealing with the
So
ASCII
then,
values and all. Okay.
yeah, then I will check if that number is divisible by k. So if it is divisible by k, I will take one integer as result.
No, in fact, you have to return the Boolean array. So the type should be vector bool
Okay,
of the
okay,
function.
okay, okay. So now my result return type is also vector of bool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it is divisible, then I will push true in my resultant vector. If it is not divisible, then I will push false in my resultant vector. Then I am returning my result. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you coded the your logic as you said earlier. Chal. Okay. Great, great, great. So yeah, so I'm done with my all the DSA questions round, and you did pretty much well. So now, if I move on to the feedback part, so I'll say that you are pretty much like I just basically wanted to check the all the things you put up in your resume. Like you told about the DSA problem you like did in the correlation with some university kind of thing and some courses with that. And you also mentioned that you are pretty much good with mathematics on because you did machine learning and all. So basically, I wanted to check that are you like literally good in mathematics or not. So therefore, the only way to check if a guy is having a basic knowledge and like how the proper iterations and how the work things internally go, the only thing to check is the questions on strings, on its manipulation and on bits, right? So you did pretty much well, and you had the logics pretty much clear, and I'm pretty much happy with your performance. So good up, good one.
Thank you.
I was mute. Sorry. So, all right, guys, that was amazing. Uh, I was waiting for the part when you'll give the feedback, and I'll come and say that it went great according to me. You both were together parallelly working on thought process of Siddharth, and you were giving it. So it was kind of step by step process. and also that environment of there's a time going on, and those things, the same environment. Plus, you're also showcasing this to so many people. 88 people are alive still. So thank you so much, Siddharth, for joining in, and thank you so much, Dhananjay, for again taking up this thing and doing this for us. And I know you'll be joining us in more webinars like such, right?
Yeah, sure, sir. My
And
pleasure, sir.
yeah, and Siddharth, you were amazing. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for organizing such an awesome live mock interview. I will get a good exposure of interview experience.
Definitely. Definitely, man. That's the intent of this thing. Even the guest, the student who is coming also benefits, and also the audience, and also our mentors. They're honing their skills by asking things, and so everything is good, man. Thank you so much, guys. I'll bid you goodbye and I'll talk to the audience for a minute then. All right.
Okay. Bye
All
bye.
right.
Thank you
Bye,
very much.
Dhananjay. Bye,
Bye
Siddharth.
bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Happy good day,
Bye.
Siddharth. Bye. Take care.
All right, guys. I hope you liked the session. Tell in your comments how to participate. So, akshay.bhaskar@geeksforgeeks.org. That is my email ID, official email ID. Send in your resume. If my team will get back to you on this. Like, we'll go through a resume and see that how we can do it. So, definitely, whoever wants to go through this experience, please feel free to reach to me, guys. Please. Uh, all right. So, uh, as you know that Geek Summer Carnival is coming. It's next week, Geek Summer Carnival hai. So YouTube description mein there's a link. Go through that link. See the coupons. They're very nice. So many benefits at a very cheap price. So just have a look at that. So I'll just go. Thank you so much. We'll join. We'll come again tomorrow. Every day will come. Yeah, Prabhat Geek Summer Carnival. Thanks, man. Bye, guys. Take care.
Okay, alright.